Good morning, everyone. Trader Rob here. Afternoon. Bienvenue. Willkommen. Buenos dias. Hello. It is coffee time with Trader Rob. Not too sure on what's going to happen today. Not a whole lot of people, but we'll see what's going on. People want to jump in or whatever. Um, it's been a pretty long day yesterday. Actually, just got done with that. Closed up yesterday and just went ahead and started today. Um, I actually got a couple people that are looking to jump in here on chat, maybe. See if I can send them a little link. Not sure how to do that just yet, but I'm working on it. So we'll all do what we can do, right? Yay! I'll just send them a link to my channel, make it easier. But while I do that, you guys are watching me anyway. Um, yeah, yesterday was actually a pretty good day. Started off the new year way I liked it. I mean, I don't really have any complaints. Already started making some money with some orders on freelancing. Actually doubled my gig count for freelancing jobs, which I thought was pretty cool. Um, so now I got, I don't even know, uh, 70, 70 different gigs going right now, or close to it. But it's been an adventure. That's for sure. It's certainly been an adventure. Um, let's see if I can send it this way. Still working on trying to send this link, but we'll get there. Don't worry. Q, no, that ain't gonna work. Let's see. Yeah. All right, that's paused. So we'll go ahead and share it. There we go. There you are. Yay. Make sure. All right, good. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and jump on Facebook. Share the link. Let everybody know I went live and it's coffee time. Coffee, coffee, cookie time. Coffee, coffee, cookie time. Yum, yum, yum. But yeah, this is episode 2. And just coffee time. Basically, just me rambling and my thoughts and what I plan on getting done today. Let's see. What are my plans for today? Plans for today is to finish up the doing my freelance gigs and getting all of them listed. I want to get that taken care of by the end of the weekend, at least. At the very latest, by the end of the weekend. Still got a lot to do. Um, a lot of new marketplaces that I have to get the exposure to. So that's what that's all about. What else? Helping out a couple of friends of mine that, hey, it's doing stuff as easy as this. Just committing to it, learning how to do the shit, and then actually doing it. Talking about business plans and understanding what your trajectory. My biggest setback for the past couple of days has been try to make my resource list, update that for my business plan, because I haven't done that in a while. I've been slacking on it, and now I have a ton of more resources that completely change everything the way I do business now. And the and I just got to figure out exactly what all my resources are doing, what doubles that I have that have the same features, and I need to do another analysis on on editing software, on um, inventory management for my suppliers. That's a big one. So I got a few different companies that I'm working with right now. Oof, that's not good. We'll wait for that. Um, let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna be getting back into doing drop ship myself. Um, Working on actually taking the reins on everything in my business, not just delegating responsibilities, but actually having a full and complete understanding of my business, how to operate it, and stop just spending money on experts to do things that I either didn't have the confidence in myself to do, or just laziness and complacency, which sucks. It's fucking pathetic. Can't do that shit. Um, Looks like I need to speak up a little bit, get you a little closer to me. The sound bar down there is telling me that you can't really hear me. So we'll change that. Got you a little closer now. Can even see my cigarette smoke. Um, the Everybody tries to do like New Year's resolutions and stuff like that. It's time to stop with that. It's not a new year. It's tomorrow. Doesn't matter what month it is. Doesn't matter what day of the week it is. When you're in the mentality of things need to change, that's when they are supposed to change. Not okay. I need to change this. So on Sunday, I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna change my habits on the first of the month, or I'm gonna change my habits at the beginning of the year, or on Lent, or whatever. No, it's not tomorrow morning. It's not after dinner. It's not when you first wake up tomorrow. It's right now. Now's the time to change. Now's the time to do what you want to do. if if we chose to live in complacency, there would be no change. There would be only degradation because complacency isn't sustainable. It's not. If there's no other proof than that, go to some slums. Look at a person that's lived there for 30 years. How are they? Is that sustainable? No. They're still paying rent. I mean, that's proof right there. Simple as that. But you don't have to be complacent. You could accept, okay, it's time for me to be better. Right now is my moment, and start doing it. And if you are doing it, I love it. It's it's the greatest thing you could ever do for yourself and for the people around you. Everybody in your life is benefiting because you decided to make yourself better. You decided you deserve to make yourself better. And there's nothing more rewarding and frustrating than trying to progress. Because fact is, we've never been there before. The places that we're going, we have no real understanding of what it's going to be like, how to prepare for it. I mean, we can ask other people that have done it and get their perspective, but it's not, they don't have our background with it that's going to be attached. They don't have our unique um, restraints. So everybody has a different path. It's just some people have the same goals. And yes, there are a lot of things that you can pick up from training and just watching videos after video after video. Yes, you can gain an immense amount of confidence and aptitude and understanding of what you're capable of or what your resources are capable of. That's a better way to put it. But until you actually commit to the having your convictions play out through confident actions and doing what you're training yourself to do and learning how to continue to progress that way is the only thing left, I guess you could say. Because, I mean, you can have all the knowledge in the world, but until you actually start executing it and seeing where you need to invest in further to become better and get where you want to be and exceed where you want to be, that's you just got to do it. You got to try it. You got to get yourself out there, whether it's jumping on YouTube and getting over the whole worried about what people think or coming off the wrong way or whatever. It really doesn't matter. You just got to do it. And the more you do, the more passion you get about it, the more understanding and reward you get from it. Because not only are you keeping the commitment to yourself and to others and holding yourself accountable, and that accountability in itself has rewards, but you're also gaining the confidence into saying, okay, I can not only make a video, or I can not only just make uh just a writing thing or a blog, but I can have my own brand. I can have my own YouTube channel. I can have my own marketing team or my own social media management agency. I can have people working for me doing my jobs. Um, let's see. If there's anybody here that wants to chit chat, jump on. It's just me being bored. um, if there's, um, let's see, what else am I going to do today? Today's Saturday. Um, I might end up going to Busch Gardens for a couple of hours, hang out with the animals. We'll see how busy they are and if people are actually distancing themselves and then being smart about it, or if Busch Gardens is just as crappy as they were last time I was there. Um, Working on getting Granny a COVID shot. We're trying for that. It's not easy because the way Florida is right now, um, the majority of the shots haven't gone to public yet. They're just for healthcare workers and the elderly in nursing homes. I believe it's phase 2 that's going to be for the public elderly, and I might be actually working part time if I can schedule it right. I'm gonna see if I can work part time at CVS. Sorry, I was just looking at a little like pimple or something. My hand. Um, yeah, that's I don't know. What we in if I can fit it in. I mean, to be able to help people do COVID shots and just like my grandma. I mean, if I completely understand, and I'd love to be able to. I mean, even donate my time. I have all the training and all that stuff and the nursing experience. doing a shot's easy. Um, but let's see. I'd also want to get the shot for myself. And being a smoker and all that, it's it is still concerning. Um, went into 7-Eleven yesterday and really got ticked off because some for whatever reason people are just I don't understand it. It's like they are so hell bent on thinking that a mask is the worst thing in the world. It's so confining and disagreeable. I really don't understand it. And it's not really that uncomfortable. Doctors wear them all day long, many of them. A surgeon will wear them for 14, 16 hours at a time, and their surgery technicians, they got to wear them too. I mean, then you've got these people that say that they have underlying medical conditions. Let's have a little discussion about that actually. Well, that's where we'll take coffee talk today. The underlying medical conditions for mask users or non-mask users, I should say. If you tell me that you are physically unable to wear a mask, you're an idiot. If you tell me that you have a physical condition that prevents you, some kind of medical condition that prevents you from wearing a mask, you're an idiot. I'll tell you it in person. I'll tell you it over through live. You're an idiot. The medical conditions that are actually in place for people to not be necessary for it not to be necessary for them to wear a mask are not people who breathe through their nose and their mouth. The medical condition that was discussed for that addition is a trach for people who have a hole in their throat, which a mask will do absolutely nothing for. And a lot of people cannot cap that. They don't have the respiratory muscles to do so. Some of them will, some of them can, not all. And when a person is breathing through that tube, they can't exactly wear a mask, even though they'll have one on just because they'll have one on their face. The air is actually coming out of their throat, either into a tube with circulation or with um, filters, or just out into the air. And you're not really going to be seeing a lot of people with a trach hole or a cap walking around in public during COVID, during a pandemic that is caught by breathing things in. They're not out, they stay home. So, unless you've got a hole in your throat, wear a mask. The people that have a hole in their throat, they still wear a mask. It's just how it is. They'll just put a mask over their face. I saw two of them in the past 9 months, both at a ear, nose, and throat doctor's office. Guess why? That's where you go when you have a hole in your throat. You go to the throat doctor. But that's my little rant on that. If you say you got some kind of lung issue to where you can't expire or you can't exhale enough to get all the CO2 out of your lungs with a mask on, then you wouldn't be able to walk up a flight of stairs. That's first off. You wouldn't. You'd pass out. You wouldn't be able to sleep on your stomach. You wouldn't be able to walk probably more than like 30 feet, maybe 50 if you're really healthy. You would be going to your pulmonologist quite frequently. Let's see, you would be going to the ICU almost on a daily to weekly basis because your CO2 levels were so high that it's now involving cardiac issues. You would also have a cardiologist that would say, hey, they got serious CO2 issues, and you would be on a CPAP or a BiPAP. Not a CPAP, a BiPAP. Which, guess what? You're not in public with those. You're not. You're in an ICU unit. You're inside of intensive care if you have a BiPAP on. If your CO2 levels are so high to where you might die, you might lose consciousness, then your heart is being affected and you're in ICU because the saturation of CO2 is so high that you can't even wear a mask. That's just how it is. If you legitimately don't have the stomach muscles, then you already know that you need an abdominal support belt. And you probably already have one. So you're already educated. Let's see. How do I know all these things? Well, 20 years ago, over 21 years ago now, I started becoming a caregiver to a quadriplegic who actually had those issues. Over the course of 20 years, he's worn masks many, 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 many times. Now, never really had an issue with CO2 levels going up because of a mask. And this is somebody who doesn't actually have the muscles to exhale beyond his diaphragm. That's it. That's all I had. He had rib muscles and he had his diaphragm. Anybody that knows about quadriplegics, they understand. Function stops right there. All those muscles, they don't get used. He actually didn't even have them. They atrophied after 15, 20 years. They're just, well, after 10, 15 years. His last few years, they were never there. Uh, yeah, if people tell you they got a medical condition and they don't have a hole in their throat, tell them to shut the fuck up because they're lying to you, and you don't deserve to be lied to. They're just some asshole that feels that they need to find something to vent against. It's the exact same reason Donald Trump got elected in the first place, because people needed something to vent, and that was it. That really was. That's why people said, okay, Bernie's not going to be running, so I'm not voting for Hillary. I don't want to do that. So I'll go vote for Trump. That's what happened. I mean, you can say that he concentrated on the numbers better. It's not what happened. He used people's exhaustion of being complacent and feeling like they're entitled, but they're also overlooked. And he wanted to he wanted to sell the image of prosperity if he came in office. Yeah, we see how well that worked out. Record levels. Oh yeah, record levels. Unemployment, deficit, death. If that's your idea of winning, not mine. And the people that cry out that, oh, I can't wear a mask, or they take their mask off to talk. Like, I understand you. They understand you. There's no reason to take your mask off. You're not supposed to be touching the mask in the first place. Or the people that will put a mask on, I call it the mask beards. It's when they will just have it right here, just walking around. It's right there. All you've got to do is go from here to here, and then you're done. You're actually a normal functioning member of society and not pissing anybody off. But instead, you decide to look like a complete douchebag and have a mask sitting on your chin. Why would you have a mask sitting on your chin? I mean, I understand if you're eating, if you're smoking, but if you're just walking around and or talking to somebody, having a regular conversation, having normal daily interactions, or your life, and it doesn't involve you actually putting something in your mouth, put the mask on. It's right there. You look like a douchebag with just having it hanging right there or hanging off of one ear. I mean, it's annoying as shit be trying to balance that thing on your ear. First off, I'm a smoker. I've done it a bunch of times. I actually got tired of it and just put it on my wrist. Then I smoke a cigarette, put it back on. But I mean, why do people have to be like that? I mean, there's nothing to gain from it. I mean, what would you do if somebody actually said that There is 100% chance, because you decided not to wear your mask and you're asymptomatic, my grandma's dead. What would you actually do? How would you go on with your life if they showed you proof with 100% guarantee your decision to not wear a mask killed my grandma or their grandma or somebody's child who had immune deficiencies, all because you decided to walk around a grocery store without a mask on, or put your mask on your chin and walk through the aisles breathing on everything, contaminating everything, and you have no idea because you're asymptomatic and you haven't gotten tested. I mean, what are you going to do? What would you do? Is trying to even fathom that, the realization of a loss of life because of your own laziness and complacency. I mean, trying to wrap your head around that. Is that itself even worth keeping the mask off? Just trying to come up with how you would go on with your daily life knowing that you are a murderer. That's what it is. It's like, okay, I'm driving and there's a school bus ahead of me and just don't feel like being constricted by a brake pedal. So I plow through a bunch of kids. Oh well, I had to get somewhere. It was more important for me to tweet something than actually pay attention. Show just the tiniest little bit of effort and acknowledgement of other human lives to save lives. Just that tiniest little bit. Not a lot of action. Just what billions of other people are doing. And it's it's like, what is wrong with these people? I don't. Is it the is the society? Is it cynicism? Like you, is it just you can't wrap your head around something being so horrible, so it can't actually be real? Is that it? I mean, that's what it seems like. Like it's just something that, I mean, this is a global pandemic where millions of people are dying. This is really happening. This is all over the world. There are people that have been locked in their houses for the past 9 months so that they save lives, so that their countries will be saving the lives of its citizens and showing the discipline that is necessary to keep these people alive, keep them healthy, keep their economy strong. Because what does quarantine do? It kills the virus. It curbs the trend. Does it hurt the economy? No. How do we have proof of that? The European Union's second stimulus. They locked down the entire four major financial countries. Locked down. No one in, no one out, no one out of their homes. 3 weeks. What happened to the euro? It went up. Day after 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 day. 24 days straight growth while their people were home. No production, no manufacturing, no import export, quarantined. And how's their economy now? It's fine. It's right back to normal. Did they save thousands of lives by doing so? Yes. Or thousands of lives lost because of the stupid people that decided to say, okay, we're quarantined, but we don't care. Yes. That's why there's so many people that are still dying. That's why there's that's why California and Florida are still epicenters of the virus because people are just doing whatever they want, having no social acknowledgement, no acknowledgement of human life. If it has anything to do with restricting what they want to do. I mean, people are more concerned with going to fucking McDonald's and getting not even real food than wearing a mask. I mean, people are, it's, I guess it's time for me to be over with that rant. My brain is just spinning in the same direction. Yep. End of the rant. End of the coffee. All right. What to do now? Well, we've got grinder, we've got medication, and we got blunt. Wonder what to do now. Time to medicate, as the song goes. Can't start singing it because I ain't got that kind of money. Wind up getting sued, not even have a handful of followers. Yep, I had to shut down because I just got sued by some band for singing a song. Oops. On fucking YouTube. And what are your rants? What are your pet peeves? What drives you fucking crazy about stupid? What do people do that are just fucking stupid that drives you nuts? Put that in the chat or comments or whatever. But what is it that people that I don't want to call them trash, like white trash type deal, because that's what I was born in, and you can always escape that. It's not a mentality; it's a social circumstance. A lot of times, like a lot of people that are considered white trash just simply don't have the confidence in themselves to get out of the place that they're at or understand, have the the knowledge of what's around them to get them out of that circumstance. And it's just really tragic, to be honest. But anyway, yeah, I don't really like that term, white trash, but it's it is kind of hard to come up with another name for not ignorant, but willfully complacent. We'll try to go with that one. Willfully complacent. They they feel entitled, and nobody can tell them any different, because there might be some skewed form that they don't need to be inconvenienced. They can come up with an excuse like kids do in fucking gym class. Oh, I got a doctor's note. I don't need to run. Oh, I got a doctor's note. I don't need to wear a mask. Okay, so you bothered your doctor so fucking much to where they actually wrote you a letter. Wrote a letter that says that you don't have to wear a mask. Whatever. Get the fuck away from me. You got a hole in your throat? No. Shut the fuck up. And it's not just wearing a mask. I'm also seeing it in like dating sites. I've seen it a lot in dating sites, and there's people that are. It's like they don't even acknowledge social norms and communication anymore. It's just blurting out whatever troll is inside them, or a "what can you do for me" type mentality. You know what I mean? And that's so toxic. And to even have that mentality, what can you do for me? Why not stop asking what I can do for you and ask what you can do for other people? What would you like to do for other people? Where do you find reward in your day? Because bringing negativity has no reward. I mean, there's humor in saying something obscene and with proper timing. And a lot of comedians make good money doing that. But when it's not for an on-stage performance and you're just simply just spouting off stupid shit, like Corona's a hoax. I still, those people I laugh at. Or that um, the president knew about it, didn't know about it before March. We've already had that discussion. If a 17-year-old in bumfuck wherever it was from knew about it, and people on TubeBuddy, just some YouTube channel, knew about it back in November, A year and 2 months ago, I seriously doubt the President of the United States had no idea. There's nobody in the NSA that is going through the the papers over in China like they did, like the people on TubeBuddy and the 17-year-old, and translating them to find out what's going on. There's nobody doing that. Come on. I mean, trying to tell me CNN China or CNN Asia has better information and intel than the President of the United States? No. He wanted to capitalize. And he wanted his buddies to capitalize. And he wanted to have things to say, okay, well, if you go against me, I'm going to expose you for capitalizing on a pandemic. And guess what happened after that? Everybody made a shit ton of money, and then they followed Trump all the way downhill. And this is where we're at now. It's not because the people are worried about his Twitter followers. They're not worried about his Twitter followers. They know the Twitter followers are going to go away as soon as January 21st comes around. Twitter followers are gone. His whole regime is gone because people won't care. You know who are going to be around? The same people that follow Breitbart. That's who's going to be around. Klansmen. People like Alex Jones, who are just characters that perpetuate conspiracy theories that even themselves don't believe in. Sean Hannity, another character. People watch these shows thinking these are real people when they're not. They're not actual. They're not actual reporters. They're not there to give you information. They're there to spin a story that they believe could get ratings so that they can do more affiliate sales and have more AdWords sales. That's all. That is the extent of what they're trying to do. They're trying to get more money through advertising, whether it's through their merch or product place or the advertisement placement. Oh, crack. Give myself a little head scratch there. Yeah, buddy. All right, time to clean up my little tabs here. I've only got about 35 of them open right now. But yeah, we'll get rid of that. Oh, my friend T Money's listening in. What up, T Money? And their son never wears a mask nowhere. Not to a grocery store, nowhere. Said Corona isn't real. Okay. Well, if Corona's not real, prove it. Prove it's not real. Because there's a lot of proof it is. That's what I got to say. If Corona is a hoax, prove it. Prove any kind of documentation that falsified medical documents for 18 million people so far have been collected and distributed to Johns Hopkins University. 18 million people worldwide have actual documentation from doctors that say, if I'm wrong, I will put my license on this. And this person has this virus. So basically, the entire medical profession, not Democrats, not Republicans, governments that have no concept of democracy, still the same thing, still the same problems. Let's see. Oh yeah. Now, who was it that anyway, it was actually really funny in the Tulsa Trump rally. One of his own cabinet members died from corona, from contracting it from a Trump rally, from the Tulsa Trump rally. Kane. His last name was Kane. I remember that. I can't remember his first name right now. But I don't want to say Dean Kane because I know that's not it. That was fucking Superman. I keep wanting to say Howard Kane, but I don't think that was right either. Maybe Howard Dean or something. I don't know. Anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. The guy that worked in the Trump cabinet died during the Tulsa rally, or from the Tulsa rally. Even person from the presidential cabinet gone. Now, if you want to discuss the other conspiracy theories, like there be Boris straits and people and CDC not telling us about the existence of more strains, that I would actually sit down and talk to you about. Because the spread of these viruses, it's almost naive to think that people or that the virus didn't mutate after being introduced to 15 million people. That's the whole reason why we don't have a cure for the common cold, is because virus mutates quite frequently. And just a few years ago, the flu virus mutated so rapidly that none of the flu shots were actually effective because they were going from the previous year of the flu virus, and it was completely different strains with different resistances. Was that introduced to 15 million people? Fuck no. Not even close. A couple 100,000. And that had variants so rapidly mutated that they couldn't keep up. They couldn't even identify a proper treatment for it. They just basically waited it out. They're like, all right, this one actually does have such a low death rate, or we don't care. Yes, that does happen. Let's see. And it's mainly because actually developing the vaccine within the amount of time needed to cure people is it's gonna run its course most likely by then anyway. It's just that this specific strain of the virus is so aggressive that special things were necessary. Special protocols were needed to be made in order to create a vaccine in time so that half the world didn't die. Uh, um, Today's goal is let's get off that. It's enough negativity, enough ranting and raving. Talk about unicorns and balloons and cheeseburgers. All the things that make you smile. One of my goals for today, um, just keeping on my schedule. Really, I don't have too much extra plan. I want to finish up the freelance stuff. Uh, that's really my main focus. I still got a lot to do with that. It's gonna take me a while. So, and tomorrow, if I get all my freelancing stuff today, my goal for tomorrow is to really start or finish editing some videos. Um, just just playing, basically just having a couple hours that I can dedicate to getting my getting an understanding of creating the videos that you see everybody else having with the little digits and buttons and everything else, and yada 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 yada. But um, that's gonna be my next goal. Trying to get that, and then um, coming up with there's a new program. Well, not a new program. It's a company that partnered with Groove called Chatmatic. I haven't really gotten into that at all. I need to start doing that so I can automate more of my business. And um, next week we'll be working on updating all my posts for social media, um, getting all that done. I got 20 sites to do. So I got 140 different accounts to post a month for each. See if I can get like 20 accounts a day done. That's my goal. Well, actually 21 a day. That would be 3 different stores. 3 different names, what do you want to call them? That's what one of my main goals is, to get to where I'm ahead of schedule on things. Not stop trying to catch up. And I don't want to cut my losses on anything. I want to. I just want to. I want to, but I do want to get ahead. I'm tired of lagging. Tired of feeling like I'm always behind. Trying to work 14, 15, 20, 23-hour days and only accomplishing like 4 different things. And just looking around and still seeing where everything else is neglected. Coming up with a real workflow. I guess most of it is I just gotta figure out where I need help in, because there are some things where I should hire somebody to do some things that just take me a long time, or I'll focus on other people's issues for way too long, trying to help like the community I'm involved in now. I would I would gladly spend 3, 4, or 5 hours a day on that, or somebody coming to me and asking me, "Hey, how do I do this?" I enjoy the shit out of that, because I get to help somebody go through exactly what I gone through, and I already know the path. I already have gone through the light at the end of the tunnel, and just know the exact step by step by step by step by step. Like, all right, go here. This is exactly how you get it done. And or if there's somebody else who can explain it better, because I truly suck at explaining things. I know this. Everybody has told me this. So that's not a fucking that's not exactly a secret. One of the reasons why I don't create training videos, I say, hey, go where I learned it. Do the work. As soon as you do it, you'll have the same understanding I do. Then you won't have to ask me questions. You'll be able to explain it to yourself. And that's how you actually succeed, is saying, okay, there's my resource. I'm going to have a grasp and understanding of that resource and know the who, what, where, when, why, and how to apply that resource to make either myself better, my environment better, or my professional life better, whatever it is, whatever reality you want to focus on, whatever relationships you want to focus on empowering with that resource. But um what I'd like to do is just have the reason why I do it is I like knowing that I'm capable of being an authority in something where somebody wants to seek out my information because I have done my due diligence. You know what I mean? It almost is like a sense of entitlement, like a title. Entitlement. But um it's because as I've done my due diligence over the past 20 something years. I've been doing this, optimizing business modifications, consulting, marketing, sustainability analysis. I mean, fucking, yeah, over 20 years. And that's that's just who I am. I mean, that's what life has created for me because that's what keeps coming around to me. I've never sought it out. It's just the way my exposure in my journey has led me. I mean, you can't really learn you can't have a better introduction to accountability and sustainability in a business than what I had. I was 14 years old, moved from inner city to a town, almost a town, actually. It wasn't even a town, but called Aberdeen, Ohio, right on the bank of the Ohio River. Population about 110 people, maybe. Um, but nothing to do. I mean, there wasn't even a Piggly Wiggly. The only place there was for a restaurant was this um, little mom and pop restaurant that had an all you can eat bar that you can get to. You can either order off the menu or you can do all you can eat. And the nearest anything was a whole nother town away. And the best part of that town was an Italian restaurant. Was it? So if you wanted fancy dining, had to go to a 45-minute drive to another town to have Italian food made by people born and raised in the mountains of Ohio. Um, yeah. Um, but anyway, I was like 13 at the time, 14, something like that, and nothing to do. And I just got tired of sitting around watching TV. I mean, that's all I did was I, if I was at school, came home, sat on TV, watched TV, or played PlayStation. I remember when we first got PlayStation, actually. I actually felt like one of the rich kids. So, yeah, I got PlayStation. My mom got it for us when we moved. Um, and she separated from my dad finally. She actually took some money and got me and my brother a PlayStation, so we had something to do. And to kind of talk my brother into moving in with us because he was actually living with my father at the time. But I was actually like a year or two before that in North Carolina. But we went anyway, sitting around watching TV from 2 till 10, day in, day out. Summer came around, it was even worse. So eventually I said, you know what, screw it. I'm just gonna start walking around. And started walk to town. That lasted for a good whole couple of days. Then I was like, all right, what the fuck do now? So I started the where I lived. Me and my mom had a place that was literally like on the Ohio River. Part of it was the Ohio River, and there was a hill, like an embankment, keep the water from when the water rose. Um, but that had a bunch of overgrowth. Like, all right, I'm gonna just start doing landscaping. That's how bored I was. I was just landscaping for a while, and then I saw my neighbor putting up some posts that he was actually the owner of all the land, and my mom was just renting a place, and they just basically went over there to see what he was doing and if he needed any help because I was bored. I wanted something to do. Like, all right, I'll just go help him, maybe. And what he was doing was he was actually putting together a Texas Longhorn cattle ranch. Well, all right, that's cool. Would you like any help? Like, well, how are you on? I tell you what. And the agreement was for a if I worked and did everything he said, got up 5:30 in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning, fed the animals, built the farm, got back there after like around 4 to do more stuff, do more chores on the farm. Then around dinner time, he'd take me over to the restaurant and we'd eat. Like, okay, I just agreed to it. Like, and that's what I did for like 9 months. Was I helped them build and run the cattle ranch. My first job that day was digging a trench for watering. The very first job, he was like, "This is exactly how it has to be done," and it just clicked in my head. Okay, there is no substitute. There is no okay. He said it has to be 18 inches down, but if it's 16, it's okay. No, 18 inches from start to finish has to be. And that just clicked in my head. Okay, this if something if a job has every job has a list of necessities, and to acknowledge those and make sure that that takes priority, you'll begin to understand your discipline. And when you have a growth in discipline, you actually start taking pride in your work. And that's what I really noticed when I was digging was after a few feet, I was looking down and I was seeing the results of what I was creating and how just perfect the edges were and how I wanted to replicate that over and over and over again. I wasn't thinking about how strenuous the task was. I was thinking about my next reward. It just overtook it, and and I never reversed that thinking. I never acknowledge how strenuous, daunting, or how long it'll take me to accomplish for a task. I just understand that there is a constant reward to staying disciplined, staying just keeping the path of progress, regardless of how little it seems to be at times. Just keep going. And the reward of doing a good job and meeting those needs of your job so that you are performing it exactly as you're supposed to. No negotiating. This is how it's got to be. It's not going to be second rate. There is no second rate. There is right. There is completed, and it's not completed until it's done, till every single necessity is met. And just taking pride in meeting those needs just over and over and over again. Just taking the next 6 inches of that trench, making sure all the way down 18 inches. The having a squared edge, making sure that the dirt that I'm pulling off of it is at least 4 inches away from the hole. Having that nice little pile all the way down next to this perfect trench that I did. It never would have thought to me that what I was doing was a large job. I mean, now I see what I see that it would be considered a large job nowadays as more um, exposed to other things in life. other jobs, and having to do that again at a different place and seeing people's reaction, having that exposure to different personalities. It was just simply, here's the work. There you go. Um, the gee, that's a lot of notifications. Oh, it's 3 o'clock. All right, I guess I gotta get stuff done. Finish with my cigarette. Finish with my coffee. Time to get back. Yeah. That's another thing I need to start doing is having shorter coffee talks. But I just wasted an hour and a half. I could have slept or something else. I could have gotten another Fiverr gig done or something. If you guys want to know anything about business or anything like that, check out my description. If you want to see more episodes of Coffee Talk or whatever happens later on with the development of this channel, like, subscribe, click the bell notification daily. Since nobody's talking, I'll just go ahead and kill it. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Love you guys. Bye.